right, we're checking out the only game where it's not a matter of how good you skate, but how fast you can launch yourself into orbit. It's Skate. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy here, Father Time. You may think that Skate is a game that's really about, you know, skating and doing cool flips and cool tricks and other things like that. That's not true at all. Skate is actually a game that's all about finding out how much you can break the physics that EA decided to put inside of here. Now, you may say to yourself, great, why were you starting on top of a building and why did you land directly on your feet after smashing your cranium onto a piece of cement at terminal velocity? That, everyone, is Skate. Now, yes, while I could get onto a board and, like, I don't know, do some grinds or something like that, and then fall directly onto my shoulder and dislocate my elbow. Really what we're going to be doing is testing out the various glitches that people have found, because real skaters of culture are all about the glitches. Like, obviously walking in Skate is not how you get from place to place. Instead, what you do is you just flip everywhere. You just roll everywhere like a cannonball. Hit a car, no big deal. Ricochet right off of it. You can eventually just launch yourself up in the air, go into a spread eagle formation, and then just glide on the ground. There. Yeah, just slide. There's no friction in Skate. It doesn't matter. Just stay like that. There you go. That's fantastic. Now, while I quickly get from point A to point B like this, the very first thing that we're going to do is obviously try to go to space. I want to make sure as many people can see this as possible. Let me get right in the middle of the square here. So what we're going to do is get on our board, immediately T-pose, because this is the typical skating position that you should be in. It's the one that is, of course, the most comfortable. Then we're gonna go ahead and emote. Now, you're gonna notice when we emoted right there, we were sent up into the heavens, cheering. Look at that right there. Father Time cheering violently. He's very happy. Now, when you fall, a bunch of things could happen. You would think to yourself, Gray, obviously you're going to gain speed. No, not at all. If you want, you can just change the directory of your falling by praying. Praying to the gods. You wouldn't run over a... I love that my head is just randomly glitching underneath the bus. This is Skate. Oh my god! Now, obviously, that wasn't enough height at all. So we're gonna try and get more distance. I mean, if you're gonna go, you want to at least try and go to the point where you leave the entire skybox. Now, fortunately, getting around in Skate is easy because instead of having to walk anywhere or, you know, God forbid, skateboard anywhere, you could just fly in that way. You get plenty of points this way, too. Now, from what I have found, it seems like the higher the area that you start from, the more potential you have to go into the stratosphere. You can notice right there, about 197 meters. Now, again, 197 just isn't good enough. I want to get at least multiple thousands. So let me go ahead and skydive over to my next potential skating area. Oh yeah, we're coming in hot. There we go. Spread eagle into the dive. Ugh. Fortunately, every skater's bones is made out of Laffy Taffy. That's a normal evolution in the realm of skating. Like, you're gonna notice, I'm like 6'4" and 125 pounds. That is the peak skater build. Now, you may say, but Gray, you're like 160 years old. That's fine, because skating has no age limit. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're past the clouds. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. All right, 5,000 meters. 6,000 meters, 9,000, 10,000 meters, 11,000. I don't actually know where this is going to stop. I also don't know where my character is. It is totally possible that we have transcended both time and space, and we are no longer just a molecularly sound human being. We may just be light at this point. We may have transcended the human form, and our particles may have vaporized and turned into some sort of plasma. And I may say, Gray, what is the point of leaving the entire planet behind, being 39,000 meters in the air? I found some very interesting things that this game allows you to do. The one thing is, when you're falling, while there is some sort of limitation on how fast you can fall, there is no limitation on how fast you can spin. If you've ever seen One Punch Man and you notice when Saitama just splits into like 30 guys, even though he's just languidly walking like to the supermarket, that is effectively what you are able to do. Oh, by the way, I'm at 54,000 meters now. There's no limit, by the way. Once you get to this point, gravity doesn't actually exist anymore. And so I can just hold down the button and continue to go until distance has no meaning. And oh, look, it's my character. Oh, by the way, just because I think it's funny, you can put a session marker up here. So we're gonna start from here from now on. Now, what I was talking about when I was talking about like falling and all that kind of stuff is what we're gonna do is begin twisting. But you wanna begin twisting at an angle. You don't wanna do it just in like, you know, like one position, like straight up or straight down. Because what's happening right now is our twisting body is gaining more and more momentum, and it won't stop. The momentum that our body will gain is going to increase forever until we split into 30 different characters. See? Now wait for it. Oh, there we go. That's it. That's how you become Hokage. Right there. See what we're doing? We are not just one skater now. We are splitting every once in a while into 3 or 4 or 5 skaters. This is going to go on forever. Like this speed will continue to multiply. There we go. Oh yeah, we're getting full bodily separation at this point. The best part is when you hit the ground, it's kind of like winning the lottery. You always, something special always happens. You're just never 100% sure exactly what it's going to be. Now, generally, I would say that we're probably going to go through the core of the Earth and end up at the bottom of the map, but I don't know. I really don't know for certain. You can see at this point there's like 100 of me. Yep. We have penetrated the entire just a normal day in skate, everyone. Hold on. I need to, we need to go through this a little bit so that you can better understand it. It's the whole point of the instant replay after all. Putting this at normal speed is useless because you can't see anything because it's happening so fast. I wanted to see what my character looked like. Like, what? Can't actually see my face. There he is. I found him. Unfortunately, re-entering the atmosphere caused his eyelids to fuse shut. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, his eyes opened. They were briefly open. Oh, this is good because this gives you the actual showing of the speeding up of the spinning. Hold on, this should be great. Now you can see it nice and close up. There we go. Now the skeletal structure of my character, if you notice the frequency, is beginning to vibrate so fast that it's going to separate my epidermis from the rest of my body. There we are. Yep, that's how it goes. That's skate. This is what everyone plays skate for, you understand. This is the reason that an entire Google document exists for all of the different glitches that you can do in this game. I love that right now, while I'm watching this, my controller is going absolutely berserk. Like, it's like a wounded animal. It's trying to pull itself out of my hand because of the horror that it is having to feel at this point. Oh, right there, look at that. You can actually see my character separate. Beautiful. So we have 3 different GrayStillPlays right there. I think we just had 4. We've now separated into 4 GrayStillPlays. It's kind of interesting. It's like a like an Illuminati pyramid. It's kind of the shape that he turns into. It's the periodic table of anguish. What's P on the periodic table? It's pain. It's pain. Now there's 5 of me. So I want to see if we ever got into a nice clean half dozen. Understand, by the way, I'm just falling. At this point, I'm not like glitched inside of an object or anything like that. This is just a normal part of the game. I think we're about to penetrate the Earth's surface in just a moment here. I really appreciate the replay mode. I wish that they would have even greater slowdown unless I'm just missing how to do it. I'm talking like 1/100th speed. That'd be fantastic. There we go. I switched over to free cam because I thought this was an important pose. Now you're gonna notice right here that my my left heel is currently inside of my armpit. This is a pretty normal stretch. You're gonna want to be able to do this in order to be a skater. I think it's pretty important to be able to do. The other thing that you're gonna want is at least to be triple jointed in your wrist. Now right here, it may look like my wrist is broken. No, not so, not at all. This is normal flexibility levels for anyone in the skating sphere. Hey everyone, it's your boy here. I love how he's waving. Now the only problem that I have is now that I'm down here, getting out of here is impossible. And the only way to get out of here is to go back to my section marker, which is at the top of the universe. I'm actually gonna see if I, you know what, hold on. I'm gonna torpedo. I wanna see what happens if I torpedo. I wonder if there is a limitation on the speed that you can accelerate at when you're falling or not. I know that there's no limitation on the spinning, but let's see if there's a limitation on the falling. My character is definitely getting farther away from the camera. My controller is also going more and more insane. Any mathematicians out there want to look at the amount of meters that we are moving per second and find out exactly how fast we are falling currently? I don't know, that's what, like 1,001, maybe 500 meters a second right now that we're falling? I can't wait to see the replay of this to understand whether or not my character has separated his entire form from the actual time-space continuum. And we should be having impact in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I actually undersold that. We're gonna take probably another 5 seconds on top of what I said for impact. Insanity, it says, eh? Well, I love... Hold on. Like a Sims character that's lost their will to live. All right, let me rewind this just a little bit. All right, we're gonna follow him. There we go. Hey, it looks pretty good. It looks, you know, looks fine. Well, I guess fine is subjective. What do you guys think? If I set my session marker here, is this gonna screw me over? Oh no! Oh God! I love that I can put a park bench down here, but it doesn't matter because the park bench just, you know, like falls into the strat. Like you could put you could put like a ramp down here if you want to, yes. It just falls. I can't even do anything with it. Don't mind me. GrayStillPlays. Just getting around the only way I know how. Well, I guess there's 2 ways I know how. The other way is to just fly everywhere. The other thing you can do is just launch yourself from the rolling position. Woo! Sweet slide. No friction. Now you may be saying to yourself, Gray, what if I actually want to skate? How can I go super fast on my skateboard? Well, the answer, everyone, is obvious. What you need to do is go into a spread eagle in the air over and over again, because each time you spread eagle, you get a little bit more speed, which transitions on your skateboard into the point where you're losing about 60 pounds of flesh when you hit the ground. Look at this speed that you have just kicking the board normally. Did you see this? Rookie speed. That's right, everyone. Why have that speed when you can have something more akin to this? I love how the board just I love how the board just like kind of is connected to your body, like if though you're just one singular organ. I don't like to use my feet to move my board. It's honestly too much work. Now you may be tempted to stay in the air for far too long. Do not be tempted, because you won't have enough time to land it. Oh God! You also get the opportunity to shoot your skateboard like a rail gun at people, which is nice. Woo! If you ever see a bunch of people trying to shove themselves underneath underneath an object like this, this is why we're all doing this. Because if you come in and then you fakie into like a bean plant, you can actually like kind of launch yourself. I just love that this is a place where everyone can come to. Like we're all in this together, trying to launch our bodies across the entire map with this. This is where the real sense of community is. Skate, you better never get rid of this. Woo! And where did Gray's board go? No idea. Actually, I think we can find out. Hold on. Yeah, where's the board at? All right, now right about here, you're gonna notice the board is still there. And then, okay, let's see. Now let's follow it here. We're gonna see if we can, okay, I'm pretty sure that my board goes literally light speed. There it is. Hold on. We can still find it. God. You ready? Hold on. You ready to see this? Hold on. Woo. Okay, so here is, half speed. We're going to see if we can see the board come at us. All right. And here it comes. Get ready. Okay, here we go. There it is. Woo! It's a home run! This is a game where when you're falling, like I said, you can fall in normal speed, but if you want to, you can just pray. Pray to the gods of skating and be like, gods of skating, please allow me to circumvent gravity so I only fall at like 10 feet a second, and that'll totally happen. Ha! Hold on, I don't want to go too high. Hold on. I do have a place I want to be. You know a skating game is good when you say to yourself, oh, hold on. I don't want to go too high. Luckily, thanks to GTA, I've had so much, practice skydiving. Well, actually, hold on. We can circumvent this. Even though it teleported us down here, I have a plan. All right, let's try this again. Woo. Oh, not too fast. Don't go too high now. You think you can stop me from going on top of this crane game? You must be crazy. GrayStillPlays coming in hot and sticks the landing. There we go. Session marker. Oh. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've found that when you're at a higher spot like this, it is way easier to go all the way to heaven. Listen, we had gotten to whatever it was, like 54,000 meters, and I said to myself, Gray, are you satisfied with that? Does that actually make you happy? And the answer's no. It didn't. It didn't make me happy. When I can see the actual curvature of the Earth from space, I would say that's when I'm happy. Gray, what are you going to go for? Are you going to go for 100,000 meters into the air? No, I'm going to go past that. I'm going to go to the point when the game decides it doesn't want to keep track of distance anymore. The actual world box is completely gone. In case anyone's wondering, I'm not slowing down. The amount of distance that I am covering is not slowing down. And so we have found infinite distance! Yay! Well, some people think skate is about skating, but no, it's actually about going to space. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed this episode of Skate. Until next time, stay foxy and much love.